Hey there, welcome back to my channel. Today, doing a reading for Sunday Synergy. So for anyone who pops in, these are cards that I'll pull for messages for the week. I have a dog here with me. What's up, Pink? She seems to have something she needs to tell me. We'll see. Anyhow, hello. So this week, how's everyone doing? Yesterday is when Neptune and Mars met in Pisces, so they're there. We are in the pre-shadow of Mercury retrograde, which is coming up this week when it goes retrograde. And we still have lots going on in the world. So cards for the week, I'm going to use the Soul's Journey deck and pull cards for this week. And so please feel free to share this reading with anyone that you think may benefit from the reading and the cards. So I'm going to pull cards for Monday and Tuesday. Pull a card, Monday and Tuesday, and then a card for Wednesday and Thursday. Wednesday and Thursday, and then a card for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Which do we need for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday? Okay, and then what I'm going to do is pull one card from Work Your Light Oracle card deck, and I'm going to use this as a supportive energy underneath everything for the week. So if we can have a card that can offer supportive energy. Okay, so I'm going to tell you, the last 3 times I've used this deck, every time 2 cards come out. It's just what's happening. So we have 2 cards. Okay, so for Monday, Tuesday, starting the week, the card is Peace. I am a being of love and I release all negative energy. So a couple of things here. We are in, as I said, the pre-shadow of Mercury retrograde. We know that when we are in Mercury retrograde, or when Mercury is retrograde, it's a time for us to let go, to review, to release, to reconsider, to redefine. I say all of the words. So as you're starting the week of Monday, Tuesday, think about your inner peace and what are the things that maybe have been some obstacles to that, or things that have had you a little bit agitated lately or for a long time. But the thing that just unseats you a bit. And think about that. And if it is doing that, then it must not be super positive for you, unless, of course, you are sitting with it, looking at it, and taking the lesson from it, and making the change that you do need so that you can get to that place of peace. So as you begin the week, if you find yourself feeling a little off, take a look, see what it is, and work with it, and then let it go. You know, we give so much power away by saying so and so made me mad. This is a simple example, right? Or oh, I was so upset because they did something. They did something regardless of you. Your interpretation and how you respond to it is your choice. So pay attention to that on Monday, Tuesday. As we get to Wednesday, Thursday, patience. I accept that everything happens in divine order. So again, this is a week as we are heading straight into Mercury going retrograde, and we know sometimes with that we run into delays, we run into miscommunications, we run into things not necessarily working the way we need them to work. You know, it's the thing where you have to print something and you go to print and all of a sudden you realize you are out of toner or ink for your printer. Those are the things we're likely to see. Again, simple example, but taking some patience, working with things, don't let it knock your piece out of balance there, and recognize that, okay, this is what it is, so what will I do with it? You know, first things first, one step at a time. And so instead of, this is, and losing your patience, just focus, become aware on that one thing, put your energy there and say, okay, how do I work with that? How do I resolve that? How do I move through that? And keep it there. It's when we lose the focus that it becomes this big thing. And then it becomes so unmanageable because we've dispersed all of that energy out there, right? But if we focus in on the one thing, then we can work with it much easier. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Failure. I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. So I think this is a little bit of what I was saying with the peace card. I got some reflections going on here. Let's see. So I think it's a little bit of what I was saying at the beginning of the week, where everything, we can look at everything in whatever way we choose, right? So we can look at it and say, it was a failure. What a fiasco. Total disaster. Waste of time. And then feel bad about it. Or we can look at it and say, okay, not the best thing, but I did find out that I could actually change the ink in the printer and didn't have to bring the printer to the Geek Squad at Best Buy. So, you know, that's pretty good. So I think that looking at, again, everything is how you want to see it, right? And so look at it and say, okay, is it going to throw me off my game, make me feel discouraged, beat myself up? Or am I going to say, okay, so I have another shot, I can do it again, and what will I do differently? So again, it's that perspective, right? So as we start the week, peace. Find your peace, hold your peace, and examine anything that's knocking you off kilter and regain your peace. It's actually that easy. Middle of the week, patience. Again, you know, holding your ground, holding your space. If you need to curse, go right ahead. Maybe don't curse at somebody. And then come right back in, you know, okay, now let's fix it. And at the end of the week, failure. You choose how you want to see that. Do you want to be in a really negative space about it, or do you want to see it as, okay, I learned something and I'll never do that again. Or I learned something and I can do this and I'm just going to tweak it, right? So it's how you want to see it. And then as we come to the two cards surrounding all of this, Oh, this is such a lovely deck. So the first is trust the niggle. What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? So this is really making sure this week that you are paying attention to your intuition, to your, some people call it their gut, whatever it is. What is that little thing that's bubbling up there? There's something there. And I think that goes under the peace, it goes under the patience, it goes under the failure. So pay attention to what you've got inside. And when you're looking at these things, when you're losing your patience potentially, maybe not, or you feel like your peace is being challenged, or you feel like this may have been a failure, think about how it is that you're framing that. Are you framing that based on what you think other people think? Or is it something that on a real soul level you believe to be true? And then the other card is Lemuria, creating heaven on earth. It's happening. Yeah. We know there's so much changing. There's so much energy flowing around. There's all kinds of conversations happening that need to happen, that haven't happened. We are all living with different structures, different regulations, perhaps, different customs. But the goal is to create the best possible scenario for the greater good. And so creating heaven on earth, it's happening. So all of this change, we may not like some of the inconvenience, but if we look at it big picture and greater good, and where it is we need to go to, then I think it helps us work through all of those things. So those are the cards for the week. Thank you so much for jumping on again, as I said, onto the channel. I'm going to see if maybe this week, I actually do have a little bit of a busy week this week, but I want to see if maybe I can do a live reading, and I don't know if I'll do it on YouTube Live or on Zoom. So if you are not on my mailing list and you would like to receive invitations for that type of thing, my email address will be below. So please send me an email and I'll add you to the list. And then also to remind folks, until June 20, I am doing a buy one, get one reading series. So check in for that too. Okay. I wish you all a wonderful week and peace, patience, and lessons from failure. Thanks, everybody.